Welcome everyone to Airships and Arcana. In this series, we'll be creating a world where industrialization meets old fantasy. This means we'll be building everything from castles to cities, trains, airships, factories, and so much more. This world will be loosely based on my 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons campaign that I've been running for over a year now. As such, we'll be building up this world from the perspective of a dungeon master, focusing on making it feel alive and full of adventure. We'll be playing on a modded 1.19.2 world with a large biomes preset. World generation will also be enhanced by the continents and tectonic mods, giving us large islands, tall mountains, separated by deep oceans. We also have the Regions Unexplored mod for more biomes, as well as the Young series of mods for more interesting structures. And of course, we'll be adding the Create Aeronautics mod once it releases, so we can explore this awesome world. Some of the other mods we'll be using include Create, Alex's Mobs, Ars Nouveau, Better Combat, Dungeons, Gear, and Mobs, as well as Quark and supplementaries, and many more. A full mod list will be in the description below. I hope you guys are excited as I am for this series. We'll be building this world up together, so if you have any ideas or feedback, feel free to drop them in the comments down below. So with that guys, let us begin this journey. Welcome everybody to episode 1 of Airships and Arcana. So we went ahead and spawned on top of this hill here. Now we do have the Zeros minimap mod and world map, so we do get a nice top-down view of what we're looking at. Now I picked this seed very specifically because we're nice and close to a mountain, which means we have easy access to iron, as well as a very interesting area to build up over here. We'll see that in a little bit though. For now, we gotta get into the start of Minecraft. Because despite it being a modded series, we still have to punch trees. On our way to the mountain here, I noticed that there's a sheep just on the other side of this hill somewhere. There he is. So we're gonna go ahead and get some iron and shear that guy and hopefully get enough for a bed before night falls. Because unfortunately, the world is very dangerous. So let's go ahead and craft up a crafting table. Now these twigs are nice because you can actually break them down into multiple sticks, so it saves you a little bit of wood in the long run. So we're just going to make a pickaxe. Literally just mine 3 stone. I can count, I mined 4. And jump straight into iron. Now there's a lot of iron up here, so we're going to go ahead and take our time and pick up a fair bit of this. Alright, got ourselves the iron here. Got ourselves some shears. Let's go find that sheep before he gets too far away from us. Looks like he's just over the way. There he is. Come here, sheeple. What do we get? 2. 2? Come on, man. I just need 1 more. Alright, well, we'll keep an eye on this guy. He'll hopefully eat some grass soon, and we'll shear him again before night falls. In the meantime, let's grab some more iron, because we're going to need lots of that. Goodness, this is so much coal. I want all of it. Hello, iron. Yep, still mining coal. Alright, looks like the sun is starting to set, so I need to get out of this hole and find that sheep again, and really hope that he went ahead and ate some grass. Where are you, sheepy? Oop, is that him? Alright, let's get over there quickly. Oh, thank goodness. Oh, you're such a nice sheep. Thank you. And bedroll. Look at that. Now we can just sleep pretty much wherever we want, and we don't have to worry about our spawn getting set, because the bedroll just passes the night without resetting your spawn. So now we can take this all over the place without ever worrying about accidentally getting stuck back here at spawn. Looks like some more of our iron is smelted up. Get a little bit more going here. And go ahead and upgrade to an iron pickaxe. Look at that. One day in and we already have iron tools. Chicken? Seeds. Yes, follow me, boy. Ooh, you have brethren. Come now, come now. Alright, come on in. Into the hole. Yep, there goes one of you. Get in. Thank you. And get in. Yep, get. There you go. Thank you. And get in. Go forward. Thank you. Alright. I was about to say, you know, we're going to have a bit of a food problem until I came across these guys. So one of the nice things now that we found those chickens is we have a bunch of eggs from them, and we'll have even more once they start laying more. Now, normally that doesn't do you a lot of good, but in this mod pack, we have Farmer's Delight, which allows us to take these eggs and cook them down, giving us fried eggs. It's not a great source of food, but it's decent for early game. And then whenever these guys lay more, we can just, walk up to the corner, pick them up, and pop them in our furnace. Excellent. Or should I say, excellent. Look at how much iron we got. And it's not even been a full day yet. So with all this, we'll be able to have a nice, easy start. In fact, we're going to go ahead and make an extra couple set of tools here. Extra pickaxe. We're going to go ahead and also make a scimitar. We're also going to go ahead and make a shield, I think, just because the skeletons in this are a little bit rough. Now, how do you do that? Shield. Right. Sticks. Yeah, it's a little bit more expensive than vanilla. In vanilla, you only need one iron ingot and, like, what, 6 planks? In this, quite a bit more expensive. But there are greater tiers of shield down the road that we'll be able to get into, including diamond shields and netherite shields. But for now, this will do. Now, hopefully I won't have too much use for it, as I have a bedroll and we'll be able to skip the nights. But it never hurts to have one, just in case. While we wait for that iron to smelt down, I'm going to go ahead and mine up a bit more stone and any other coal and iron I can find in the nearby area. And then we're going to pack up and move down to where our starter base is going to be. So I'll catch you there. And boop. There we go. All the chickens in the hole. Alright. Now we have reached our starter base area. And looking around, you'll note it doesn't really look like much. And it's because it doesn't currently. But we're going to go take a look at this area from a bit better aerial view. But not the map this time. Instead, we're going to use the free cam mod, which allows us to almost have like a spectator mode without actually having to switch game modes. So my character is still sat there, and he could absolutely get shot by skeletons, blown up by a creeper, etc. But it allows me to look around and get a better view of the area, so that way I can really know what I want to do with it and how it looks from different angles without having to deal with scaffolding or elytra or any of those other things that become rather tedious back and forth type motions. So, as we can see here, we have a relatively flat area in a hilly, treed mountainside. We have an ocean down yonder with some pretty massive cliffs. And so when I first saw this area, my thought was, this seems like a natural area to build some kind of an outpost due to the fact that it's relatively flat and these mountains are clearly rich in iron. I mean, heck, you can see some right there. So what if we pop a hole here, make these caves a little bit bigger, and build a mine shaft into the side of the mountain, and turn this whole area into a mining outpost? That's the goal, at least. But before we can get to any of that, we're going to need ourselves a starter base. And I have just the idea for it. However, we're going to need to clear some of these trees first. And we're going to go ahead and set up here by these incredibly noisy chickens. Let's go ahead and turn those guys down for a minute. Here, we're going to go ahead and look at an easier way of clearing out these trees, rather than sitting there and whacking on them with an iron axe for a couple of hours. We can use a trick. If you've ever played the Create mod, you've probably seen this trick a dozen times before, and you've probably even used it yourself. But if you've never played Create, what we can do is we can make a mechanical saw. And what this will do is allow us to just walk up to the base of this tree, place it down, place a crank on the back, turn it, and then the whole thing will fall down, leaving all the blocks for us to pick up. So let's go and make that real quick. Unfortunately, before we can actually make it, we're going to need iron sheets. We get iron sheets through a mechanical press. So we're going to need to get ourselves some andesite and actually make the alloy necessary to make that mechanical press. So let's go ahead and pop into that cave there and see if there's any andesite for us to find. It is very dark. I should have made torches. Let's go ahead and knock out a couple of those real quick. See, silver ore, not what we need right now. Oh, yep, creepers. That's what I was afraid of. Shield up, and a whack. How rude. See if we can get this guy without him blowing up and get some of that sweet gunpowder. Nope. Nope, 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 nope. I didn't make any armor yet, so if he does blow up, it's going to be very bad for us. Okay, we survived it. Didn't unfortunately kill him, so we didn't get any gunpowder. But that's alright, we'll have chances later. Ooh, some more iron. Now, unfortunately, it looks like this tunnel ends going both ways, so we can't find any andesite down here. Let's see, I'm pretty sure there was another cave entrance near where we put our chickens. Ooh, a horn. Pick up the extra eggs, go ahead and get those smelting. And also get the rest of our iron smelting. And we'll take a little spelunk down here and see if we can find some of that andesite. Let's see, it's still going down, so that might be a good sign. Ooh, that's a drop right there. Ow. Getting back out might be a problem. Alright. Now, as you see, we do have ourselves dynamic lights, so as long as I'm holding the torch, we have light, but it's not going to stop any monster spawns. So we got to remember to place these every now and then. Now, we also have the combat roll mod. If you see on the bottom of my hotbar, kind of next to my pickaxe, there's a little arrow. And that allows us to roll. And what we might be able to do is roll to that ledge there and hopefully not fall all the way down. Nope, I missed. Okay, but we landed in water. We're all right. Azalea. Those are nice. But it dead ends pretty much immediately down here. I'll take the moss, and let's try to get out. All right. New cave. Let's see what's around here. Some zinc. That's going to be helpful when we get further into create, as this is one of the main components for brass. And a lot of stuff is made using brass. Alright, sell some copper. Looks like some more copper up here. Cave continues up quite a ways, but don't see andesite. Aha! We found ourselves a lush cave, it looks like. Isn't this pretty? Look at all these pink flowers. Azalea flowers from twigs. Very pretty. Very pretty. However, it doesn't get me any closer to finding andesite. Hello, here we go. That's what we came here for. I take back what I said. Alright, so we're going to mine up a whole bunch of this, and then I'll meet you back topside. Alright, we made our way out of there with 2 stacks of andesite. Slept away the night. And now we can get into some of the crafting here. So to make andesite alloy, we're going to need some iron nuggets, some andesite, and look at that. Even got an advancement for it. Alright, what do we need? We're also going to need an iron block, and some of these shafts, which is just more of the andesite alloy, and then the interesting part. So some of Create's recipes actually require you to do crafting outside in the world rather than inside like a UI, like a crafting bench. So for this, we're going to need to take some of our logs here, strip the bark off of them, And then take our alloy. And like magic, we now have andesite casings. And a full inventory. Alright, and boom. We got a Bonkificator 3000. Now we're also going to need ourselves a crank, which means we're going to need a couple of planks. Like so. And one alloy, and boom. Crank. Now with this, we can throw a couple of iron ingots. What do we need? 4 of them? 3 of them. You take these iron ingots, throw them on the ground underneath, and then we can spin it. Look at that. Even got another advancement. We're just cranking through them today. And we have a saw. I think this is a good time as any to take some of our wood and make a couple of chests just to help alleviate our inventory issues. We will be able to build backpacks down the road, but unfortunately I don't have any leather to do so at the moment. So we're just going to leave this right here. Just kind of dump all of our stuff in here. The only thing we need right now is the crank and the saw. So, I'll show you what I was talking about earlier. Take this tree here. It's got all these complicated branches and stuff. It's going all over the place. But, if we take our saw, crouch and place it down so that way the blade is facing against the actual tree, and then place our hand crank, we're going to do some magic. See it breaking there? Boom. No more tree. Even took out some of the other one. And then the only downside is we have to pick all this up. Look at that. 48 logs for about, what, 5 seconds of spinning? Now, the one thing you'll notice is that my saturation has gone down substantially. I've lost quite a few hunger points from that. That is the downside for using the hand crank. So we're going to eventually automate this kind of thing so that way we don't have to do it by hand later. But right now, this will do and is still way more satisfying than doing it by hand. Get a couple more of these guys going. And we're going to chop down a few more trees here. So let's go ahead and clear off this hill. In between clips there, I had to pop back into the mines to get some resources to show you off what we're going to be doing for our starter base. And as you're about to see, it was a little sketchy. Ooh. Hello. I don't want to deal with you right now. Right, shield's got to cool down. Alright, that's it. Why don't you come up here where I can face you, huh? This guy's dangerous. Not to mention he has that creeper right there. This could go very poorly very quickly. I have no idea where that skeleton went. So many creepers. Look at them. And where'd that skeleton go, huh? He just kind of wandered off. Oh, is that him? Oh, hello. Nope. And gotcha. Ooh, I don't like the sound of that. Let's just light up a little bit here, so hopefully it's a little less dangerous. Ourselves an urn. Black seeds. Ooh, those are very good. Oh, those are very good. I am happy about that. Alright, can we get past this guy without him seeing us? Because what I need is just around the corners, a little bit of redstone. Also, that's a lot of glow squid ink. That'd be nice to get. Alright, let's go for it. Light it up, light it up, light it up. Ooh, hello. Alright, get the redstone. Get the redstone and run. Alright, that's enough. Run! Ah, but the glow squid ink. Ah, we're going for it. This is probably a bad idea. It's almost certainly a bad idea. Run! But now, having survived that, we can go ahead and throw down the schematic cannon. Now, we don't actually have the resource to use it, but what we can do is pop in our schematic and our clipboard, and we can get a material checklist. And this will tell us exactly what we need to build our starter base. Now, I could show you it here, because the schematic does actually create a visualization of the build, but I don't want to ruin it for you. So we'll go ahead and just take a look here, and you might be able to get a bit of an idea of what we're doing just off of some of the resources. Now, some of these we're not going to actually get because they're just like small interior details, but there's a lot of stuff we're going to need. So guys, I'm going to go ahead and go out and see if I can find everything we need to complete the starter base, and I'll meet you back here once I have everything and we can get the build started. So I was just digging up some sand here, getting, some sand so we could make glass, and I found a chest. I think I actually just happened across a buried treasure chest. Now, I haven't opened it yet. You can see at the very top of the screen there, it says inventory isn't generated, so you know I haven't opened it yet. And if I'm honest, I'm really hoping there's some diamonds in there, because in my time exploring underground, I have yet to actually see any, and diamonds are going to be pretty valuable to us for at least the early part of the game. So, fingers crossed. No diamonds, but a bunch of other interesting stuff. Let's see what we got here. We got some salmon, that's going to be good. Got enchanted golden moss clumps. Pretty sure this is mostly a joke item, but they are pretty similar to enchanted golden apples. Got leather tunic, got some emeralds, iron, gold, little prismarine. Heart of the Sea, always good thing to have, and TNT is fun. Now, this is an interesting item. So, one of the mods we have in this world is a mod called Effortless Building. So if I hold down the designated keybind, I get this interesting little building wheel. And what this allows me to do is select shapes to construct from. So if I say, click here now, you can see I get this outline of where it's going to build. And I can go in any of the given cardinal directions. And if I click again, it builds them and subtracts the necessary materials from my inventory. Let's sleep real quick. Alright, now that we passed the night, let me continue showing you this. So, one of the things that we can see here with all these different shapes is that there is going to be a bit of an issue sometimes with size. And as such, what the biceps allow us to do is it'll increase the number of blocks we can place at once. Now, unfortunately, they are a little bit bugged in this pack, so if I click here, you can see it's not properly removed from my inventory. But we're going to play this legit. I'm just going to go ahead and make those disappear. We used it once. We can upgrade ourselves 3 times to get the maximum building that we need. And hopefully we'll find some more down the road. It's stuff like this that makes me really enjoy this world. Just this amazing tree line with the mountains peeking through and the clouds going absolutely crazy when they cut through it. And these awesome cliffs. Just look at that jungle out there and tell me that isn't an amazing sight to see. Alright guys, we've gone ahead and gathered up all of our resources necessary for our starter base. And we also went and built some armor for us. Now this steampunk armor from the immersive armors is a little bit different. As you can see, it's got this cool animation on the front and on the sides. But it also allows us to do a couple of things. First, it gives us access to a double jump, which is super useful. And you might notice, it completely negates fall damage. Super, super useful for early game like this when we still don't have, feather falling and all that stuff. So this is by far going to be one of the most useful things we've made. But now that we've got all these resources pulled together, I'm going to flatten out this terrain here a little bit. We're going to build up our starter base. Let's go. Alright, welcome back, guys. Since that last clip, I did a couple of tweaks to the building, fixed a couple of errors I'd missed, some missing blocks, and a couple of mismeasurements, but everything's good now. Added a little bit more detail to the outside, got started on the interior, and built up this lovely little garden area. Now, I definitely need some string for this bamboo, as it's getting way too tall for what I wanted for this area, but I don't have any string currently, so we'll have to do that later. But as you can see, we added this nice overgrown wall, all these little bushes and plants and stuff and flowers growing along. Added a bit of a path and some fence posts, but the main thing we're looking at by far is this beautiful building here. I can't get a very good look at it from the ground, so let's go into fly cam and let's get a nice look at it. So as you can see, we did this beautiful gradient from red to purple. It's a very deep color, and did some spruce trimming on the outside, oak walls. Then we kind of accented that dark roof color with this lighter blue here. Trimmed the whole thing out with deep slate and added this nice tower in the back with the multicolor windows. Got a balcony on the side and steps leading up to the entrance. But I wanted to show you guys a couple of the tricks that I used to build this thing. So one thing in vanilla that you'll run into a lot is inventory management becomes a problem. Especially, you'll see I've got like crack bricks in here, stairs, all that stuff. Well, one of the things that really helped is we've got a mod called Immersive Weathering. And what that allows us to do is rather than having to, smelt all the bricks down, get the cracked variants, turn those in the stairs, and have, 23 different varieties of block in our inventory, we can just go up to a normal brick, and boom, it's cracked. We get the brick off of it, and if we don't, we misclick and we're like, I don't actually like that much. Boom. Uncracked. Look at that. Now, not all bricks can be cracked. As you can see, cobblestone, I'm clicking like crazy, nothing's happening. But if you notice on the lower portions, we do have, like, mossy. We can just moss that up, and all of a sudden it looks nice and overgrown. And if we were like, not feeling that so much, boom, get it back. So yeah, that's one of the things I use to really speed up the building of this, really declutter my inventory. I do have this big backpack here that can hold a lot of items, but it still made things a lot easier rather than having to truck around all those individual items. Plus, then I could just build out the whole structure and then go through and individually pick which ones I wanted rather than having to know beforehand. But let's go ahead and look on the inside now. As you can see, we got this nice step up front, got a little bit of a window with an overhang, and the other thing I really wanted to show off with this build is these here. These are Create's new copycat steps. I know they're not really new, but it's the first time I've used them, and I am addicted to them. I mean, just look at these things. They're a quarter of a block. Now, they can't be placed up and down like a wall can, but they can be placed in any of the flat orientations here, and I can, turn them, whatever. But what's really cool about them is they do pretty much what the name implies. They copy a block. So if I click it with these bricks, look at that. Now it looks just like the roof material. In fact, all that edge there and all that edge are copycat blocks. It allows for so much more detailing than you can get in a normal vanilla build. Because like here, if we go back into our fly cam, you can see I left just a single slab's width of this light blue painted plank visible. It just adds a little pop of color, and it's accented by these copycat steps looking like stone. And I just love them so much. I've never used them before, and I'm going to use them so much more from here on out because, man, the amount of detail you can get. Like, you could have done this, say, with slabs, but then it'd be flush with the trim of the roof, and that would just not look so good. And so here it has that depth, but also that smaller detail, that sub-block detail that so many people are looking for in Minecraft. I did it on this side as well, and then, yeah, I used it to trim out the roof. I used panels. They're basically like trapdoors that do the same thing to just add a little bit more to the curves here. But yeah, I am absolutely in love with copycat blocks from Create. They are just amazing to build with. Yeah, I even used them to make these little like steps right outside the windows. And that fly is stuck. But let's go ahead and pop inside and take a look at what I've done. Now, I'm only getting started in here because I don't have a lot of the resources. Like, these bricks are all supposed to be bookshelves. I don't have any leather, so I can't make that just yet. But once I do have it and they're built up, this will be a nice little, like, reading nook where you can look out into the garden. Over here is, like, a little kitchen area. You got a cutting board and, some plants growing, composter. We got some of our stuff organized out already. Eventually, I'm going to hook up this millstone so I can actually, like, mill down my flour into wheat, or my wheat into flour, rather. Got a table over here, and then got a balcony. Got a little seat and some plants. Can look out down here. Now, eventually, there's going to be a road running through here, and you'll be able to look out on that and see people coming and going. I do have a basement, but please don't judge, because it ain't finished. I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff down here, and I need to pick out what kind of floor I want and what kind of space I need for all the machines I'm going to add. So we'll come back to that later. If we head up top, this spiral staircase, we find ourselves in the bedroom. It's very small, 3x3 tower, only so much space you can actually build in. But, got some of our gear here, got a bed, finally have an actual bed, not just a sleeping bag, and a little table and chair. And eventually I'm going to add, like, paintings and stuff and whatnot. But, yeah, I think all in all, it turned out pretty good for a starter base. It's got a lot of materials that are kind of hard to find, to be honest. The purple and magenta dyes were kind of obnoxious to find, and so was the terracotta necessary to make all this rooftop. I had to go down into the lush cave underneath us and mine up a bunch of clay and smelt that down. But yeah, I think it looks pretty good so far. Still needs a little extra details here and there, make it feel a little more lived in, but we'll get to that later. Before we wrap it up here, I wanted to have a quick word with you about the future of this series and this world. As I've mentioned previously, I want to run this world from the perspective of a dungeon master. And what that really means for me is making sure this world feels alive through environmental storytelling, other small details, and interconnectivity such as roads. I want this world to feel alive to the point that I could drop in actual Dungeons & Dragons players and use it as the basis for a campaign. And hopefully so that way you guys could too, if you're so interested. I'm not going to be focusing on any overarching plot, at least at this moment, but rather small, personal stories, like the one here. This building is probably going to be the foreman's home for our mining operation. There's so many stories we could tell from just that perspective. What if he's, mean and doesn't like his miners and is just here for the profits? Or what if he's really caring and actually wants to make sure he takes care of his people? There's so many different ways we could take that and tell that through environmental storytelling. But those decisions will have to come later. If you have any opinions on where we should go with it, or any ideas for the series, just drop them down in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.